Hello, everybody. Hello. There should be this ad. Hello, shampoo. Hello. Anyway, we're with Judge Andrew Napolitano. Again, I say it week after week, month after month, year after year. Nobody anywhere in the United States that knows and respects the Constitution and the Bill of Rights like Judge Andrew Napolitano, former Supreme Court judge in New Jersey. And they're gone. Our rights keep getting stolen from us day by day, week by week, year after year. And it's not America, it's the USSA, the United Soviet States of America. Judge, thanks for being here. And you have an article coming out, what's going on down there in Texas about these Democrats leaving there because they want to do a little repositioning of the areas so that the Republicans could get more votes and Trump could get more Republicans into the House. So what's going on over there?
Well, Trump's people have asked the legislature of the state of Texas to redistrict congressional districts so as to extract about 4 or 5 more Republican members of the House. Trump is terrified of the thought of the Democrats taking control of the House in the 2026 midterm elections. It is unprecedented, but not illegal, to do a redistricting midstream. I mean, they do it every 10 years after the decennial census in years ending in 0. And there's no law prohibiting them from doing it now, but it's unprecedented. It will probably result in Democratic states like Illinois, California, New Jersey doing the same thing, and it'll be a net loss to the Republicans. But what's happening in Texas is the lower house has a rule that requires 2/3 of the members on the floor in order for them to conduct any business. The Republicans have an overwhelming majority, but not 2/3. So the only way the Democrats can prevent this redistricting from happening is not to go on the floor. If they are in the state house but not on the floor, the state police will drag them to the floor. If they're in the state of Texas but not in the state house, the state police, called the Texas Rangers, will arrest them and bring them to the state house. If they're outside the state of Texas, then there's nothing that Governor Abbott and his police department can do about it. So without taking sides in this dispute, I decided to write on a fundamental liberty that we all have, which is the freedom of travel. The government cannot arrest you or stop you from crossing interstate lines, because just as you have the right to religion, assembly, speech, self-defense, privacy, you have the right to travel. Now, all of our rights are being impaired by the government. But if the government follows the Constitution, it has to allow these people to travel wherever they want. That's the article in a nutshell. I have no illusions about fidelity to the Constitution. We have not put the Constitution in the hands of people who have safeguarded it. On the contrary, we put it in the hands of people who choose government over liberty. James Madison, who wrote the Constitution, made it very clear he chose liberty over government. But we're in an inversion now. We don't have the Madisonian system any longer. Under James Madison, the federal government could only do that which is expressly authorized in the Constitution. From and after Woodrow Wilson, the federal government can do whatever there's a national political will for, except that which is prohibited in the Constitution. It's the opposite of what Madison gave us. That's where we are today.
You said the government chooses chooses the government over liberty?
The people in whose hands we repose the Constitution for safekeeping. This is in the last paragraph of the article. Choose power and government over liberty. The Constitution itself chooses liberty over power by strictly limiting the power. But those limitations have been trampled. The Congress has trampled them. The presidents have trampled them. The courts have looked the other way.
You see, Governor Abbott has complained that the Constitution is an obstacle to law enforcement. Is this Abbott and Costello? I mean, what Abbott you're talking about?
Nicely put. It's an intentional obstacle to law enforcement to make sure that the people that enforce the laws obey the laws themselves. And among those laws they must obey is that liberty has primacy over order. The laws are written to preserve liberty, not to enhance the power of the police.
You say no surprise here is what you were saying before. Liberty is always an obstacle to order. The Constitution is an intentional obstacle to government power. Yep. No more. Government's in total control. You have no right to say anything, do anything, or do what you want. What is this guy Abbott doing? Is he trying to arrest these people outside the state?
Yes. Yes. Now, if he sends Texas Rangers to Illinois to arrest these people, the Illinois State Police will arrest the Texas Rangers for attempted kidnapping. Those Texas Rangers have no authority outside the state of Texas. Abbott would be almost insane to dispatch them to another state.
What's going on now with this? Is it still happening?
It's still happening. The clock is ticking because this session of the legislature ends on August 15th, so a week from this Friday. If they can stay holed up until then they will have effectively blocked this reapportionment. They are fined $500 a day for every day they're out of the state. That's Texas law. They're only paid $7,200 a year. This is one of the lowest paid state legislatures in the country. Good. They shouldn't be paid a lot of money.
No.
But do the math, 15 days and their whole annual salary is eaten up in the fines. So I don't know how it ends. The last two times this happened, their spouses and children and their bosses at work begged them to come home, and they came home.
Look, this country's turned to crap. I got to tell you. Hey, Judge, here's the cover of the magazine this week. Not only are Trump's legs swelling from chronic venous insufficiency, his head is swollen from chronic brain insufficiency.
I'm sorry to say that I agree with that 100%. His head is swollen, and the stuff he has said of late, threatening the Russians with nuclear submarines. Look, we have 4 to 6 nuclear submarines on the floor of the ocean right now. The Russians know exactly where they are. They have 6 to 8. We know exactly where theirs are. They don't make these overt threats to scare the daylights out of people and making us think we're getting closer to nuclear war. Trump is continuing his bravado tour of the world. The other day he said, "I run the country and I run the world."
Yeah. Can you imagine
These are very, very dangerous statements that he makes. He directed Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, to send nuclear-armed warheads to Great Britain. Why? Why does Great Britain need American nuclear-armed warheads? Some of my friends are saying, don't worry about it. They can't use them without our consent. Yeah, but the person that gives the consent is unhinged. Trump.
This is terrible what's going on. Right in front of everybody's I have a very good friend, and we started talking about, started going out, talking down about Russia. I said, do you know anything about how the Ukraine war started? He said, no. I said, you know about the government, the United States overthrow, the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych back in 2014? No. And I went on it. She said, I had no idea what you were talking about. She says, thank you for telling me this. And again, wow. We did a whole article in the Trends Journal. It was a whole.
Well, your friend probably watches mainstream media or reads mainstream newspapers where you don't see this. They want to hide it. They want to make it out the neocon version that Putin is a monster who illegally invaded Ukraine, rather than Putin is protecting Russia from NATO missiles in Ukraine, just like we would if the Chinese put missiles in Tijuana, Mexico.
Yeah. Or how about the Cuban Missile Crisis?
There you go.
Yeah. And again, she had, no idea. Like you said, people listen to mainstream media. They only get sound bites. They don't have a clue. So going back to the big story here, as out of his mind Trump is, if we go to war for whatever reason, the people will swallow the crap that we should go to war. And now Trump talking about war, the Israel war going on now, was about going on to 10 months. And slaughtering, what the official numbers are like about 62,000. But when you go to Lancet and others, it's well over 100,000 to 200,000 dead.
It's 200,000 killed, severely injured, like loss of a limb, or unaccounted for. That's 10% of the population of Gaza. A member of the Knesset and a member of the House of Representatives, I don't remember the Knesset guy's name, but the guy in the House is named Randy Fine, a Republican from Florida, have openly supported starvation as a tool of ridding Gaza of the Gazans.
Yep. Yeah, we wrote about that in the Trends Journal. And going back to Trump, go back to March of 2024. Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. And remember, Kushner, when Netanyahu used to come to America, used to stay at the Kushner's house in Jersey. He said it's going to be pretty much up to Israel whether or not they're going to occupy Gaza.
Wow. Israel can't move a blade of grass or a grain of sand in Gaza without the permission of the American government. Trump, as our friend Max Blumenthal has famously argued, could stop this with a phone call.
Oh, yeah.
When Trump was asked, this is Sunday the 3rd, can you see evidence of the genocide in Gaza? Answer, I don't. I think it's sad. What the hell kind of an answer is that? He does see evidence of starvation that he has funded the cause of, because the Israelis wouldn't have a bullet to fire if the United States hadn't supplied it to them.
Yep. Yeah. You got in the magazine this week, that guy, Witkoff. I call him Jerkoff. He's in Israel, and he goes about the starvation. Yeah, nothing to see here. Witkoff approves GHF sites after PR visit, public relations visit. They invented this GHS to bring in it's run by Israel and the United States.
Correct. It's run by Mossad and the CIA. So yeah. What do you think they're going to do? According to Max and Aaron Monte, this group has reduced the number of places where the Gazans can get food. Are you ready for this? From 400 to 4. From 400 to 4. That's what this group that Trump is trying to take credit for has done.
And let's go back to genocide Joe Biden. Remember they were going to build that pier out there and bring the stuff in? Remember that one? That cost us about $800 million?
Yes, they built it, and then they had to destroy it, and not a grain of flour was delivered as a result of that pier. What a fiasco. This is what the government does with our money. They might as well have just put it in people's fireplaces and burnt it to keep them warm at night. It would have been a more productive use than constructing this absurd pier and then destroying it.
And where is he?
It makes you wonder if Biden wasn't afraid of Netanyahu, if Trump isn't afraid of Netanyahu. My friend, Colonel Karen Kwiatkowski, a retired lieutenant colonel in the Army, PhD in political philosophy, 110% with you and me on all these issues, has said Trump should use the Marines to force the IDF to allow food into Gaza and to push the IDF out of Gaza. Not going to happen.
This is a definition of genocide: the deliberate and systematic destruction of a group of people because of their ethnicity, nationality, religion, or race.
That's what's happening.
Right? And he doesn't know if it's genocide. And then he's saying they could take over their land.
I guess he has this dream of, Trump Gaza. Remember when he really reprehensible, the stuff he puts on his website. Remember he posted a view of Gaza redeveloped by the Trump organization, and right in the middle of it was a massive Joe Stalin-like gold statue of Donald Trump.
Yep. Are you ready for this one? Let's go back to when Hamas attacked Israel. It was October 7th, 2023. That little piece of shit, an arrogant little boy. My daddy was the ambassador to Hungary. My uncle was the ambassador to Belgium. Anthony Blinken, I went to Dalton. I went to Harvard. I'm better than you. That little arrogant piece of scum. Listen to this. I come before you. He goes to visit Netanyahu. Not only as the United States Secretary of State, but also as a Jew. I could give a shit what religion you are. How about Secretary of State being an American? I come to you. Oh, and by the way, every one of my Jewish friends are against this. Every one of them are against what Israel is doing. And my good buddy, Dr. Mitch Skolnick, said to me 2 days ago, the intention of Israel when they went into Gaza was to steal the land, just like they keep stealing the land in the West Bank. That's from a Jewish guy. And look what just happened. It's in your Trends Journal about the more than 40 protesters arrested outside Trump International Hotel in New York. All Jewish people. All Jewish people that are against this. That's like us being Italian and coming out against Mussolini. Right?
Yeah.
Are we anti-Italian? So don't call me an anti-Semite. It has nothing to do with the religion.
Correct.
It's a lot of crap.
Correct. Oh, but wait a minute. Ted Cruz, the senior senator, I don't know if he's senior or junior, from Texas, says that the Bible commands us to honor and respect the Netanyahu government. That's what he told Tucker Carlson, who couldn't stop laughing when Cruz said that.
Yeah. This is from that little warmongering piece of scum.
Which one?
Lindsey Graham.
Oh, jeez. He's the worst.
You ready? This is October 11th, 2023. We are in a religious war here. Oh. I am with Israel. Do whatever the hell you have to do. Level the place.
Wow. Kill the innocents, murder the babies, slaughter the women, cripple the elderly. They don't care.
We are in a religious war here? What the hell am I in a religious war for? I'm an American. Oh, Blinken is a Jew. We're in a religious war. How about go screw yourself? How about the Constitution? What are they doing they're not attacking us. How about a man by the name of George Washington? Don't get involved in these foreign entanglements. This crap has been going on for centuries. We're in a religious war. I'm a Jew. What are you talking about? Oh, and stealing our money. So get to work with stealing your money to give it to Israel to keep the genocide going.
You know, it's even worse than you're portraying it, because the same thing is happening now without the I am a Jew argument, since the Secretary of State is Catholic, Marco Rubio.
Yes.
But his behavior is identical to that of his predecessor.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, you ready for this one? Mike Johnson, that little clown boy that's
the Speaker of the House. What did he do or say now?
This was December 6th. Mike Johnson compares himself to Moses at Christian Nationalist Gala. I gotta believe this religious crap. Who are you talking to? Oh, don't forget, Moses, God told Abraham 3,500 years ago that this land belongs to the Jewish people. God had lockjaw, never said anything before or after.
Right.
Only spoke to Abraham.
God had Netanyahu in mind when he said that.
Oh, yeah.
Aye.
I know. It's one thing after another, Judge. If we don't do something for peace and freedom, it's over. So everybody remember, September 27th, up here in Kingston, New York, Peace and Freedom Rally. So far, Judge Andrew Napolitano and Scott Ritter. We're going to start at 2 p.m. And if you really want to know what's going on in the international world with the facts and the data, you got to watch Judging Freedom. Judge Napolitano has people on there day after day after day. I don't know how you do it, Judge, that really bring out the true facts of what in the world is going on, what's next, and what you might want to do. Judge, who you got coming up now?
This afternoon I have Scott Ritter, Max Blumenthal, and one of your biggest fans on the planet, Phil Giraldi.
What a man he is.
Yes.
Again, Phil Giraldi, everybody. This is the guy that was one of the top CIA guys that went into little Georgie Bush's office, showed him the facts. There are no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And Bush told him to leave the office. Being the man that Phil Giraldi is, he left the office and he left the CIA.
Yes.
So, Judge, thank you for everything that you're doing. Everybody go to Judging Freedom and do anything you can in the God that you believe in to bring peace on earth, goodwill to all. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Gerald. All the best.